Like if I was like, hey, how's it going? Then people are like, oh no, now he's talking to me. I don't remember what your question was now, but it doesn't matter. Like, hey, what do you guys think? Bless you. Somebody in the audience is sneezing right now. And just usually made people go, psh. Got it? Again, I forgot what you asked. Is that all right?
Not that you would be boring by any means.
I think I probably will be.
That's
Thanks.
pretty badass.
Yeah,
Where'd you get that?
I got it on eBay for 99 cents.
That's amazing.
It's very greasy because I'm a greasy, dirty person.
You're like a child of the 90s right now. You've got Ninja Turtles, Game Boy phone.
My name's Mike Baldwin, and I've been doing comedy for 15 years now. Well, I started doing open mics out of high school. The first time I ever did comedy, I was in the 6th grade talent show, and I hacked word for word, minus the cuss words, like 10 minutes of Richard Ginny's HBO comedy special, and killed. It was great. All the parents and other kids and stuff just thought that I was great. But then I didn't do it again for another, 10 years or so. And then I started doing open mics and, went through the motions, did the 5 or so years of just being shitty, and then found those couple years where I was like, oh, okay, like I'm starting to get this now. And then I've kind of just been working on that for the last 7 or 8 years. Like, still just working on getting it, I won the funniest comic in Kansas City contest. My mom and dad were there, and I remember my dad was always very like you need to find you a part-time job, something to fall back on, in case comedy doesn't work out. And I remember that was the first night that he was like, wow, like you were really great up there. Like that was really, really good, and I'm impressed. And I just remember the look on his face of like, wow. I can remember waiting in line for a comedy show, waiting to see Dave Coulier when I was 18 or 19. I had just started, and I remember standing around and waiting for the doors to open, and this dude, we didn't know who he was. He wasn't Dave Coulier, but he was just some guy, like walked through everybody and said, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. And I remember looking at that guy and being like, that's one of the comedians. Like, whoa. Like, he gets to walk through the group, and like he gets to I want that, I want that special treatment. And it's just then seeing the guy on stage, that's the guy that said excuse me to me, like that stuff is just neat. That's the joys of comedy that comics don't appreciate enough, like from the day that you start doing open mics, like you're influencing people's thoughts and shit, and it's just, I don't know, it's fun. I like it. One time I was doing a show in Kansas City at the Kansas City Improv, and I only had to do 15 minutes. And I was maybe 10 minutes in, and it just wasn't my night, It just wasn't going well at all. And I was trying to start a joke about going to bars and drinking or something, and I was just like, so what are you guys going to do after this? And a dude goes, maybe laugh. For the first 5 years, I would write every single day at least 3 pages in my notebook, and I would just force myself to continue to write. Even if I would just write, I'm forcing myself to continue to write, because this funny stuff comes on the 3rd page. You can't force yourself to write a joke. I think the real funny stuff just comes from like deep inside you, which is why a lot of comics, their best jokes come from like conversations with their friends and stuff, because that's when they feel the most comfortable and they know that they don't have to be funny. Once I started featuring a lot more and headlining a little bit, I kind of stopped writing as much in the notebook and started writing more on stage. Or I would just write down like ideas. Before I would work it out in the notebook, and be like, what's funny? But now I do more of a like, all right, I got this idea, like I'm going to just kind of go up and, I'll do my 5 minutes funny up front, let them know that I'm good, and then I've got 10 minutes in the middle that I can do whatever I want with. Like, it doesn't matter if you eat it in the middle necessarily, as long as you are positive that you can bring them back at the end. Then people just remember like, oh, that guy went up, he started strong, he ended strong, like, good set, comedianmikebaldwin.com. I'm comedian Mike Baldwin on Instagram. Facebook is / comedian Mike Baldwin, I think. Twitter is Mike Baldwin. My voice cracked. That's okay. What else? Snapchat is comedian M. So, feel free to send pictures of your boobs. No big deal. I won't screenshot them. Probably. I don't know. What else is there? Thank you.
Bye. Have a good weekend.